welcome back to another edition of Te Akau TV. We're up here at the main stable, here again out in the lovely grass paddocks, joined by Brazen Affair and My Lips Are Sealed, who are very happy and enjoying a really nice summer's day. The week that was, we started off the week really well down south there with a couple of nice winners down at Riccarton. Aisha she'd sort of we'd been scratching our heads with her a little bit. She put in an absolute shocker the start before, but a good positive ride by Hayley to see her kick off her maiden win, and really pleased to see her win like that. And a filly, hopefully with a bit more time, can be a nice staying prospect for the future. Court of Appeal was a really good win, aided by a really good ride by Bruno on conditions that certainly didn't suit her, and she's now headed to the Dunedin Gold Cup this Saturday. And then Cool and Fast down at Ashburton. He'd been a real enigma. To be fair to the horse, he had a lot of issues early on in his racing career, but good to see him win like that, and another fantastic ride by Hayley. And then we then headed to Ellerslie there on Saturday. Really competitive day's racing. Belle Chevelle and the Uncle Remus was very impressive. Certainly had no favours 3 wide the trip, but Opie never panicked, and she sprinted really well to the line and sets herself up nicely for the NZB Kiwi Saturday week, the 7th of March. And then we rounded out the week with Taupo there on Sunday. Captured by Love, fantastic to see her back in the winner's circle. Another no panic ride by Opie. It was only a small field, but there's some quality gallopers in behind her, and she'll take really good confidence from that as we look to build her towards the New Zealand Thoroughbred Breeders later there in March down at Trentham. And Crown Princess, a really special win for the team. She had a really traumatic float experience as a 3-year-old heading down for a black type assignment down there at New Plymouth, and was certainly lucky to live through that, and to get her back to the races was a miracle really, and so to see her in the winner's circle was very special, and something, you know, the team here are very proud of, and really stoked for their owners to reward their patience, and you know, hopefully she can be a really nice staying prospect as well for the future. So a really good week in the stable for the team, and certainly excited for the week ahead. So we kick off the weekend there at Hara on Friday with probably our strongest winning chance for the team. She Suits Herself heads down in the maiden 2100. She's in fantastic order, ran a really good stakes placing, and followed that up with a good performance at Tauranga without a lot of luck. Finds herself in a really suitable race. I think she's come up a very short price favourite, with Craig Grills on from the Ace Barrier. Looks a really strong chance, and she's in really good form here at home. And then we shift on to Wingatui with the feature meeting of the weekend down there. Fantastic prize money, $1 million day down there, which is fantastic to see for the South Island, and we're going in with some really nice chances. So we kick off the day with Purple Pros. Really niggly gate, but we've got Opie aboard down there, and if he is to take part in that race 1, he looks to be a really nice chance. He's sort of knocking on the door with a couple of placings and been there or thereabouts, but like I say, finds a really suitable race, and looks at a nice chance for the team. We then move on to the 2-year-old race. 2 really nice chances. Elysian was scratched there last week due to weather conditions. We just elected to wait for Wingatui in the hope of a better track, which we should, touch wood, hopefully find there on Saturday, but she'll take great improvement from the debut performance, and certainly look forward to her with the blinkers on there come Saturday, and Never Too Much. He's travelled down in terrific order, and he looks a really nice chance with Opie aboard, and should benefit from that trial there at Ellerslie. So there are 2 really nice chances to follow up Purple Pros. On to race 6, the Open 1200. 2 really nice sprinters here, very talented on their day. Insatiable, he won nicely there last time at Riccarton, should take good confidence from that. And with Opie aboard, has to lug a bit more weight this time around, but probably deserves it off his last start effort. And he looks at another nice chance for the team. And Trobrand, another nice chance for the team. Really talented galloper on his day, who's just has a few aches and pains from time to time, and has had a couple of niggly issues throughout his career. But when he's right, he's absolutely super, as they saw down there at Cup Week, where he's just pipped on the post in that black type event. He's got a little bit of a sticky gait, but gets in nicely at the weights with Bruno aboard, who certainly knows him well. And he looks another nice each way chance for the team. He's just going to need a lot of luck from that barrier. On to the Dunedin Guineas, Perlino, an exciting chance for the team, and certainly deserves her chance at black type, following a super maiden win down there on her home track at Riccarton. Another one that's drawn niggly, so is going to need a bit of luck, but Bruno knows her, having ridden her on race day, and it's come up a really even field, and she looks like a really strong chance, and certainly hoping to nab a bit of black type with her. Feature race for the meeting, two really nice mares in this. Court of Appeal leads the charge. She's got a nice gait, gets in with a really suitable weight on the 53 minimum, with Bruno aboard, who knows her so well and developing a really good association with her. She comes off a nice win there last week at Riccarton. We think the step up to 2400 metres suits, and just really praying for a good track there come Saturday. And if she is able to jump away with them, she can be a little tardy out of the gates at times. She looks a really strong winning chance for the team. And Elegant Lady, she certainly needed the run there last Wednesday at Riccarton. She just missed a bit of work with a little bit of a setback, but that'll bring her on nicely. She drops a lot in weight, being under the open handicap conditions, back from up from a 75 grade, and just need a little bit of luck from the barrier, but she's capable of running well, and she probably should have won this race a couple of years ago with any amount of luck. So she certainly deserves her chance, and hoping third time lucky with her. And we round out the day with Stony Breck in the White Robe Lodge Weight for Age Mile. Opie Bosson aboard. He certainly needed the run there last time at Wingatui. Just got a long way off them, and attacked the line nicely late without ever sort of figuring in the finish, but he'll take great improvement from that up to the mile suits, and Opie jumps aboard, who's got a really good record on him, so looks a nice chance to round out the day, albeit in a very competitive field. On to the home track meeting, Matamata. We kick off with Arizola over 1400, makes her race day debut. She's certainly been a handful at times, but her last trial there at Ellerslie was really good. We're kicking her off over 1400 with the blinkers on, and if she does everything well from the ace barrier with Grillsy aboard, she's more than capable of figuring in the finish, and really excited to see her at the races now after being given plenty of time. Race 3, two nice chances, Uptown and Cease and Desist. Uptown's coming off a really good win there at Tauranga. Still learning her craft, but it's improving each time going to the races. It's a pretty competitive field, but with Grillsy aboard from a nice gate, she certainly looks a nice each way chance. And Cease and Desist, he just over raced there last time, but 2 starts back was a really good winner at Matamata on his home track. So back to Matamata. Rory Hutchings jumps aboard. It will certainly be conservative with him, and if he is able to settle that first half of the race and build into it nicely, he's capable of bouncing back into winning form. Race 4, Family Ties, in the 75-14, Haley aboard, really niggly gate. She'll have to go back from there, but look for her next time over a bit further as we continue to get her up and trip, and if there is any rain about, which there was earlier in the week, the forecast is looking better and better, would certainly suit her, but look for her next time over the mile 2000. One True King in the 65-2000, backs from Stakes Company there at Te Rapa, just did it all wrong, over raced fiercely in the Waikato Guineas. He's got a niggly gate, so we'll probably look to go back from the draw, and if he settles and does everything well, expect to see him attacking the line late with Grillsy aboard. The blinkers come off, which we certainly hope will see him settle a little bit better. Onto the Open 2000, Savoir Faire. Expect to see him bounce back to a bit of form there on Saturday. Better track conditions, up to 2000, no weight on as well, with Haley aboard. He looks a really nice chance in a pretty even field, and he's a very talented galloper on his day. Then on to race 7, we've got 4 accepted to race here. We'll probably look to split them up between here and Wellington, but 4 really nice horses. More than likely, we think Legally Binding will take his place from barrier 1 with Michael McNabb aboard. He's got a bit of weight, but he's worked up really nicely here this week at Matamata after a quiet trial up there at Avondale, and he's a really nice sprinting prospect, resuming after a bit of a freshen up, so expect him to run a cheeky race. Brazen Affair could either run at here or Wellington, both drawn niggly at both venues, but she's coming off a really nice trial there at Avondale last time. We've been very patient with her in terms of getting her to the races. She's been held up with wet tracks, etc. over the summer, which has been frustrating, but excited to see her kick off this weekend. And Egyptian Queen, she's coming off a really good win there last time. Hayley jumps aboard, who rides all her track work, who certainly knows her very well, and if she gets any luck from that gate, we're confident she can run very well there again. In Charm Rose, she's more than likely heading to Wellington, but coming off a bit of a freshen up, and she's a talented galloper on her day, and seems to be working up really nicely heading into a resumption back into racing. And we round out the day in the open mile. 2 nice horses take their place here. Zentabulous looks the strongest, winning charge of both of them. She's coming off a really good second on very rain affected going there last time. She steps up to open company, so drops a lot of weight, and with Hayley's Claim gets in at 52, but looks at a really nice chance. She's racing in really good form. And Balance of Power, he's more than likely going to need the run over the mile, which we think will be short of his best, but capable of showing some cheek there with a nice lightweight, and a good senior rider and Musser aboard. But 2 really nice horses to round out the day. On to the last meeting of the weekend, Trentham there on Sunday. A really nice meeting there with the Cuddle Stakes, the feature. We potentially kick off with Petite Rocher there in the maiden 1200, back to 1200 with the blinkers on. We can think she can bounce back to a bit of form. Her work's been super leading in, so excited to see her back at the races. Then on to the 75 1100, so it's more than likely we'll get 2 take their place here, and we're thinking at this stage it'll be Charm Rose with a nice low gate. Her work's been good, and we think it's really suitable to kick her off over 11. She's got really good gate speed, and a talented sprinter going forward who's certainly still learning her craft, but going the right way after a freshen up, and potentially Brazen Affair down there as well. I think the 1100 suits her to kick her off in, and she's in really good order, coming off a nice trial there at Avondale. And then on to the feature with My Lips Are Sealed, coming off a really impressive stakes win there on her home track. She is a stakes winner at the mile at Trentham, which is obviously extremely positive. Rory's ridden both her gallops this week, and he couldn't be more pleased with her heading in, and she's in fantastic form. She's taking good confidence. If you've been watching the video throughout, you'd see she's very bright and well here in the paddock, charging around, and just really enjoying the summer as we head into the autumn. So excited to see her take place there on Sunday, and looks at a really nice chance to nab a bit more black type on her already impressive CV. So a really nice busy weekend for the team, with a different array of runners and some really nice chances throughout. Okay, best bet for the weekend, I'll stick with She Suits Herself. I think she's a very short price favourite, but she's going really nicely and finds herself in a suitable race there on Friday. And for the $1 each way punters, I really think Savoir Faire, I know I've tipped him out a couple of times, but up to 2,000 metres with a suitable track on his home track, Hayley aboard, no weight, I think he's a really good chance at bouncing back to a bit of form for the team, and really excited to see him up to the 2,000. So good luck to all owners and everyone involved, and we'll see you next week.